she's caused me. I can't remember that I've had an opportunity to apologize to Jen. I'm not sure I'd want to apologize to her, actually. Maybe because I feel like she owes me an apology.
Well, Peggy and her daughter haven't spoken to each other in 7 years. Peggy says other family members have told her that Jen stopped speaking to her because of the past, but Peggy says that's just ridiculous. She says she loved her kids and was a good mom. Jen, however, has a very different opinion of how all of that took place. Take a look at this.
My mom was the worst mom. My childhood was pretty horrible. My mom had me when she was 16. I lived with my grandma for the first 3 years of my life. When I lived with my mom, I was miserable. I did not like her, and I hated my life there. My mom was physically abusive. She would hit us, kick us, punch us. When I was about 10, she grabbed me by my hair and started punching me on my neck repeatedly with both fists. Everything went black, and I was dizzy, and because of that incident, I have lifelong lasting effects. I have migraines almost daily. I have a bad back. I also have injuries consistent with whiplash, and I've also had some hearing loss in my right ear. My mom was also emotionally and mentally abusive. She made me feel really horrible as a person. She would tell me that I made her hate me, that I'm ugly. I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel like I could do anything right. I just felt like I was a burden. When I was 11, my mom told me that she was going to put me in foster care, so I just decided to run away. I took a taxi to where I caught a Greyhound bus and got a ride to San Francisco. When I arrived in San Francisco, I called my dad and stepmom and asked them to come pick me up, and they did. Growing up, I got the brunt of the abuse until I moved out, and then it moved on to my sister. I don't think my mom knows what real love is. She says the words, "I love you." I don't think she even knows what that means. I didn't ask to be born to her. I didn't have a choice. My mom never should have been a mom.
Well, it sounds like a lot more going on than just hanging up on her.
Where did this foster home stuff come from? That is ridiculous.
No, you're ridiculous. And your denial is ridiculous.
You said you were hit to the point that you have hearing loss.
I do.
Is that true?
I remember.
Did you beat this child?
No. I remember pulling her hair. She turned to run away. I grabbed her hair and pulled her back.
Now, there's a hell of a big difference between she was turning and I snagged her hair versus I pounded on her till she has hearing loss. If she's lying, then you need to say so. But if she's not, you need to own that. I don't know. You can go talk to a therapist for a year and you can get to this point, or I can just tell you now. And I'm just telling you now, you're either going to own this or this thing's going to fall apart. So your choice. I wasn't there. I don't know. The floor is yours.
I don't think she's lying. I don't think you're lying. I just don't think it's accurate.
You abused me. You can start by acknowledging that.
Did you beat this child?
I didn't beat her. I don't believe I beat her. I don't. If the things she say happened, I do not remember that.
Is it possible that you weren't present at the time because you were in an altered state of consciousness?
You mean like I was so angry I kind of blacked out?
Take a look at this.
My mom put her men and her drugs ahead of the kids. There was never a time where the boyfriends and the drugs did not take a priority. Between the ages of 9 to 14, my mom had so many boyfriends. I would say probably about 10 to 15. It was a revolving door, and I thought she was a slut. My mom is a drug addict. From a very young age, I've been aware that my mom was a drug user. I knew it from probably as young as 4. In my earlier years, I believe my mom was only smoking pot, but my mom started doing meth in my early